Isn't that the watchword or the phrase for the hour, the day, and the coming weeks?
Exactly, Dr. Gorka. Look, I have a standard for people who want the president to concede. I will consider their arguments and their input on December 10, 2020. That's 37 days after the election, the same number of days it took Al Gore to concede.
Right. So let's have full disclosure here. We're not going to get you in trouble. You can't talk about concrete issues because, well, you're a lawyer. You may be, a former military man, and you may have served this country honorably in the cloth of the Republic, but you're also a rather hard-bitten lawyer, and so you might be helping a certain president of the United States with his legal challenges. Talk to us about the comparison, just historically, because I know you followed these things many moons ago. In the 2000 election, it was all about hanging chads in Florida. This time, it's a little bit bigger than just one state, is it not, Kurt Schlichter?
Yes, it is. It's a multi-state operation. Last Wednesday night, I was asked by Rick Grinnell, the great Rick Grinnell, who should be president someday, if I could drop everything, come out to Vegas. So I hopped in my fine German automobile and shot across the desert, and I spent about 3 or 4 days there assisting with the legal challenge. And, Dr. Gorka, I keep hearing from the media that there is no evidence of irregularities. That is a lie, because we provided it. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist if our garbage mainstream media refuses to pick it up. But there are irregularities. There are many irregularities. And the teams are working very hard to vet them, because we don't, this is important. We want to count every legal vote. One thing that impressed me was nobody ever said anything about disenfranchising somebody who's legitimately, and for whatever reason, voted for Joe Biden. Right. It was all about, we got to count every legitimate legal vote. And that's what we're going to do. And they're working a bunch of theories. They're working a bunch of evidence. There is evidence of irregularities. It's a very tough burden to overturn an election. A judge is going to be very conscious that we're asking him to make a decision on an election for the presidency. So this stuff has to be absolutely clear. It's not like, the normal red light, green light auto accident where somebody's going, ow, my neck is sore. This is a big deal. We've got to do it right, but we have a crack legal team working it.
So you're the lawyer. I am a layman, but I know that a couple of things matter in any legal case. There has to be opportunity, there has to be motive, there has to be some form of evidence. Let me ask you just the naive question. Why would any party, any candidate, or any American not want the votes to be counted in a way that demonstrates the integrity of each and every vote, Colonel Kaye?
What an outstanding and intriguing question, because I know that has been the Donald Trump position from the beginning. We went into federal court just the other day about an issue where someone was not allowed to properly observe the counting. The Democrats opposed that. The Democrats opposed our motion for a temporary restraining order regarding counting things. What do you have to hide? I want every American to see every vote counted. And if, God forbid, the American people choose Joe Biden, then I want every American to go, all right, I don't like the outcome, but it was fair. It was fair. The American people, for whatever reason, made that crazy choice. But when you're hiding something, when numbers change mysteriously, when statistically dubious ballot dumps occur, people have questions. Yeah. And usually litigation, Dr. Gorka, can take 2-3 years. You investigate, you do discovery. It's an election contest. Everything is super abbreviated. And, after like 48 hours, we're going, where's your concrete evidence and proof? Well, first of all, concrete evidence and proof is presented to a judge, but you have to gather it. And, if somebody's cheating on an election, they're going to try and hide it.
Let's talk about the stuff that nobody wants to talk about, even on our side. This is hard. You've mentioned that this is a real, this is a 100-meter dash. This is a super high-speed event, and on top of that, Kurt, it's not just about the law. You said it yourself. A judge, any judge, thinks twice, thinks thrice, thinks 5 times about overturning the results of an election.
Is this proper? This is a high burden, and we understand that. And we don't think it's too much to ask that we prove our case with substantial admissible evidence. But there is public evidence out there. In Nevada, there are affidavits of people who witnessed misconduct. There are serious issues involving people who may have moved out of the state and improperly voted in Nevada. And these things have got to be run to ground. They are being run to ground. Look, nobody likes hassling the Republican organization better than me. I've got pretty high standards because I was a U.S. Army colonel. I know how organizations should work. That being said, I was unbelievably impressed.
This was going to be my question. This is exactly, you read my mind. Tell me about what you saw when you were pulled in when it comes to the bench that is working for the president on these issues.
Dr. Gorka, as you know, when you're a commander, a battalion, or brigade, you are like a conductor conducting a symphony. And I walked in. There were data guys who could who could figure out how to use commercial databases, all legal, but cleverly figure it and use parameters to tell me who had moved out, who had been gone more than 30 days yet voted in Nevada. Logistically, and of course, we know that professionals think logistics. I get to Las Vegas. I have a room. We have a place to be. We have the equipment that we need. We have food. And people are like, well, that doesn't sound important. People can't operate if you don't have logistics nailed down. They did. As for the legal guys, they had a terrific lawyer on staff there. We plussed up with a bunch of other people, and we were able to get good product out that a federal judge said these are good pleadings within 24 hours.
Wow.
Now, I litigate in front of federal court. Prying a compliment out of a federal judge, especially when you're on with 500 media guys listening, is no easy feat. So we can be unbelievably proud of our team, and they need to be recognized.
Well, we are incredibly excited that you are part of that team, that Ambassador Rick Grenell pulled you in. His motto is no surrender. I call him Colonel K. Read him, senior columnist at townhall.com, the author of the 21 Biggest Lies About Donald Trump and You. Kurt Schlichter on Twitter. Back with the Colonel after these messages.